Digital IDs for migrants. One MP dismisses the proposal as utterly misguided. A tense debate unfolds as GBNews investigates the arrival of diversity managers on skilled worker visas, all while concerns grow over violent incidents involving migrant groups. MPs also clash over whether Brexit is truly to blame for the small boats crisis, with new details emerging around the issuing of skilled visas to individuals such as poets and bloggers. If you value independent reporting, do consider subscribing and turning on notifications to stay informed.
Apparently going to solve all this by introducing digital IDs, biometric ID for migrants. Over 40 Labour MPs writing to Number 10 in support of the idea. That's because they're stupid, Mark White, isn't it? Because digital ID is going to do nothing to solve this issue.
Well, there are those that would argue that it might be able to keep a firmer sort of check on those who are being employed in jobs in the black economy, illegal economy, grey economy, whatever politically correct term you want to describe it as these days. But the truth is, the vast majority of those working in that illegal economy are doing it through sort of criminal gangs that act as their brokers that get them these jobs in the first place, and they're working often for companies that don't give two hoots about their status.
As if those employers, whether it's a Vietnamese nail bar or a kebab shop, are going to say, oh no, I'm only going to pay you a low wage, but you've got to show me your digital ID. They're not asking for their papers now as a right to work here. These MPs just don't understand that.
Well, they possibly don't understand that. And listen, I get your concerns about the potential Trojan horse of introducing these ID cards to migrants initially and then potentially to the rest of us. All I would say on that really is that, you know, we quite willingly give up all of our details to private enterprise, but you know, somehow we get very sort of sticky about it when it might be the government that's asking for your details. It's become a much more serious phenomenon in the last 12 months in particular. It's horrific now across in and around the camps in northern France, with rival migrant gangs battling each other out. And what you're looking at here are actually images from Spain, eastern Spain, of violence that's broken out between people within the Spanish population and migrant groups there. Now, this followed a horrific incident, actually, in one Spanish town in which an elderly local man was very badly beaten up, it's claimed, by a group of Moroccan immigrants. And that sparked days of violence that have just intensified. And that really, I think, points to an issue of increasing tensions in multiple countries, not just Spain. And we've seen it even in Ireland, of course, yeah, in recent months, with quite a lot of violence that's broken out at protests there.
Is it totally necessary we're importing DEI managers to come and work in Britain? Should they be given skilled work visas? Is that a skilled job?
Good morning, and thank you for having me on. I did wonder whether we'd kind of gone back in time to April the 1st when I heard this, because everyone I know, it's just like the idea of importing more of these EDI experts is just madness. It's like, you know, the ones we've got, like, get rid of, please. You know, what good are they doing? You know, I think when you think, it's not just a question of money. I mean, you know, we know that kind of £27 million has been spent by the civil service on this type of work, and 13 million by the NHS. But it's not just a question of money, because the really kind of weird and ironic thing is that this category of job comes under the title Human Resources and Industrial Relations. Now, we published a report recently on the Equality Act, which includes the effects of EDI in workplaces. And when you think of the fact that between 2017 and 2024, we've had over 200,000 employment tribunal hearings, many of which will have come about because of the influence of equity, diversity and inclusion policies in the workforce, we can see that this is, you know, far from creating harmonious industrial relations. It's the complete opposite. It is causing real disruptions and antagonisms and fractiousness in the workplace culture, which is, a serious problem, on any account.